Welcome back to my channel for this week's Human Design Transit Report. And today is Monday, April 24th. And we're going to talk about the new transit that starts on Friday, the 28th. And if you want to know what's going on right now through Thursday, then you should go and watch the transit report that I released last Thursday. Okay, so go and check that out. And then we're going to spend our time together today talking about the transit that starts on the 28th. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I want to start out by pointing out this really great channel that is highlighted right now. And so Jupiter is still in the 42. So I've talked about Jupiter in the 42 in earlier transit reports because he's been there and the sun was there a couple of transits ago. And now Mars has moved into the 53. So the reason that this is great is that it's the energy for starting things and the energy for finishing things. And so this is a channel that's just kind of like, get it done channel. It's like start it, finish it, get it done. And we talked before when the sun was in the 42 about this as being a great time to, move through any procrastination you have to complete things. And that is still the case, but it's also now that there's this energy for starting things, okay, getting things started. And so again, if you're a person who procrastinates, then it's pretty great to be like, okay, now I have this energy to finally start this thing. And maybe you'll even have the energy to complete it, depending on how big a project it is or how much is involved, how many different people and all of that, right? And so it's just a wonderful time for you to be looking at that because, we're all so busy and we all have so much, our to-do lists are way too long. We have too many obligations, too many responsibilities, and it's just easy for things to just not get done, right? It's all that we can do to just kind of get up and take care of ourselves and do our work and take care of our kids and our parents and, hopefully take care of our bodies some, get outside, be in nature, do our spiritual practice and, right? Yeah, exactly. So finding the time to actually start and finish something sometimes can be really hard, but you're going to have all the energetic support that you need to do that for now. Mars is just going to be there until May 3rd, so I would say get on it. My experience is that when we align with these energies, we use a lot less of our own energy to create the things that we want in our lives, and so take advantage. On Friday, the sun's going to move into the gate 24, which is in the knowing circuit. It's right up here at the top of the ajna, and the earth is going to move into the gate 44, which is on the spleen center. We've kind of been moving around the gates of the spleen lately. So the sun in the 24 is known as a rationalization in traditional human design and blessings in quantum human design. I think it's a fascinating juxtaposition between those two interpretations. So like I said, it's at the top of the ajna here. Its mate is the 61, so this is the very beginning of the knowing circuit. So it's individual circuitry. It's here to be different. It's here to bring change. And it's on the leading edge of consciousness. It does not fit in. It's not designed to fit in. And it's really here to help open us up to new possibilities. Now, I think one of the reasons it was called rationalization in traditional human design was like some of the really leading edge stuff that comes in through the 61. The 24 was like, whoa, what is that? Like, how am I going to make sense out of that, right? But if instead of that kind of pushback, we can instead be open and be like, oh, where's the blessing in what the downloads are coming to me through that knowing circuit are, right? Because they think of it this way. This is like divine guidance, just coming right in, through your energy circuit, and you just have to be open to receiving it. Now, side note here, we still have Neptune and Mercury lighting up the gate 2. Mercury's in retrograde in the gate 2, but they're both lighting up the gate 2, which is all about allowing. It's all about receptivity. It's about letting things in. It's also in the knowing circuit, but it's all the way down here on the G center. So it's around the knowing circuit, but it is still in the same circuit. And so the more that we can allow ourselves to be receptive and to receive what comes in as a blessing, knowing that our intention is always going to be to connect with the highest possible, most beneficial, most compassionate, most loving type of energy, right? So that's what's coming in. We want to be able to allow it in so that it can really influence us, and we can be living from really a divinely guided place. Okay, because that is possible. It really is possible when you practice it, when you believe it, and when you allow it. And then the earth is lighting up the gate 44, which is on the spleen center. And in traditional human design, it's known as energy. And in quantum human design, it's known as truth. So the fear of the 44, because again, all of the spleen gates have fears, is the fear of the past. The fear of the past. This is one of those karmic energies. You want to be able to just kind of let the past be in the past, right? Now, of course, if there are things that you need to atone for, then you want to pay attention for that, right? If there's people you need to apologize to, if there are things that you need to do to make things right with people or situations where you look back on it and you're like, wow, I wish I hadn't acted that way, or I didn't know any better, but now I do, so now I want to do something different. Whatever that is. So it may be that there's some of that, but that you're doing all of that to free yourself from the past, because you don't want to be, walking around with this 1,000 weight on your back, your baggage you're carrying around the past. And look, I understand that in our ancestral line, in our soul's journey, there's a lot of friggin' trauma. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of, people being unkind to each other. Absolutely. And you do not want that to weigh you down in the present. You don't want to be living in reaction to that. Now, it may mean that you will want to do something like Kundalini yoga or Tai Chi or breath work or whatever you can tap into to move energy so you can release whatever it is from the past that you might be carrying around with you, that you might have some fear around. That's totally possible. It's work I've done with people for 25 years. So, and I go on doing it with myself. I actually just did some recently. I was like, wow, I didn't realize I was carrying around this grief about something that happened in the past. I was like, oh, wow, I had all this grief about it. And it was great because I got to feel the grief. I got to release it so that I can then move forward more powerfully in the present, right? Because I'm more aware. And so that's what you want to be able to do. And that is an opportunity for you. So to do that, you want to tell yourself the truth about the past. That sometimes can mean looking yourself in the mirror and being like, okay, what have I really done and what do I need to do? But it can also be like because we immediately tell stories about the past, and what we remember is the stories more than the actual situation. And so sometimes we want to investigate our stories and be like, wow, did that person really be cruel to me? Was that really what was happening? Or was that person having a bad day and they said something that was unconscious and unkind? And then I made a story out of it where that person was really cruel to me. So you want to investigate your stories about the past and be like, is that really true? And you want to kind of break out of the old stories of the past that are limiting you, that are weighing you down, that are keeping you in place and not letting you move forward in the way that you want to in your life and in your business, because this is in the business circuit of the tribal circuit. So it does have to do with our relationships, and it's not so much like the people close in terms of our family. It's more about like our relationship to our work in the world, to our business, to money, to exchange, and that sort of thing. So you want to take a look at what's your story about the past, about all of those things for you. Like you really want to break away from any old stories about work, or, like let's say you had a failure with a company, you've had a bankruptcy, you had a foreclosure, you had to leave a job and you had nothing, whatever it might be, and really come to peace with it, because you can free yourself. You can free yourself when you do that, and you can step into a situation where you're way more empowered in the now, because you're not carrying around the past. So when you can ground yourself into the truth of the past Okay. And the truth, as you know it, is probably going to continue to evolve. I know that's certainly true for me. But as you're able to do that, you become more and more able to really receive the inspirations that are coming to you from the creative intelligence of the universe through that 24, right? And then you can ground yourself in the truth. Because just as an example, even kind of collectively, we lived through a time where people who had intuition, who were psychic, were burned at the stake, right? Ostracized, had horrible things happen to them, okay? So you want to be able to put that in the past and not have the fear of that keep you from blocking off your intuition. And so you want to look at, in my present day reality, is it dangerous for me to receive the blessings that are coming to me from superconsciousness? Is it? Is it dangerous? Really? Or would I really benefit from that? Can I sit in the truth that right now I am an empowered person and I can empower myself even more by being willing to receive that divine guidance? All right, so just another reminder, this Thursday on the 27th, I'm doing a Chart-a-Thon. So please do follow the instructions that are going to be in the description, and I will post about it. I'm sending an email about it. It's in the Becoming Sovereign Virtual Retreat Center. So we have multiple ways to find out about it and how to send me your chart, and maybe I will read your chart when I read charts during the Chart-a-Thon. It's always a crowd pleaser. All right, many blessings, much love.